Hello, welcome to Quintarra then. See what we're going to do here. I hope everything goes smoothly. Yeah, look at this. I think Mr.Dixon feels more terrified of elves than dwarves. Still, dwarves were not that nice to him. Oh god, look at these people. So, greetings Outlander, welcome to Quintarra, to the elven city of Quintarra. Okay, greetings. The guard leans down to you, smiling. Long has it been since a halfling walked among us in the Tree City. We welcome you, a halfling brother. You may pass. What? Okay. It's the first time I get into Quintarra as a halfling, and I didn't expect people to be so happy to see an halfling. Let's talk with them. Can I do? Oh, they are incredibly nice. Hello? Be quick about it now. I have to be on. So what's your name, friend? My name is Mr. Wind, the master of the hunt. It is a pleasure to meet you. He looks at the sky. He seems somewhat distracted. Well, the pleasure is mine. You said you were master of the hunt? We have a group of hunters who supply Quintarra with food and other supplies. I am their commander. I see. Are there a lot of hunters here in Quintarra? No, we are a small community here. We never have need for more than 3 or 4 hunters at any given time. Say, do you happen to know the hour? Sure. Don't know how I know, but I'm very worried. There's a hunter who's left here yesterday and hasn't returned. Normally I'd not be concerned, but he was hunting in the forest near the dark fens. There are strange things in those swamps. Huh. That's worrisome. Could I be of help? Would you? I need to go on another hunt, but I could tell you where he was hunting and you could travel there. I'm sure it's nothing, but I get worried about my hunters. If you could see to it that he's safely on his way home, I could offer you some elven chainmail. Done, if I happen to find him. Thank you so very much. I can mark your map with the general area where he was hunting. Good luck to you. Okay. So this place looks fine. Another villager. It's locked. Can I open? Shouldn't be doing this, but I think Mr. Dixon is just waiting to see when they will turn on him, you know. Like, yeah, I know they're gonna turn on me, so... Hey. Hello, good elf. Might I ask who you are? As with most elves, I have a very long name, but in your tongue I am called Lumen. So it is a pleasure, Lumen. Might I ask what you do here in Quintarra? I'm a craftsman, good sir. I work with wood and metal to create objects of magic, weapons and talismans. The occasional piece of decorative jewelry. We all play our part here in Quintarra, and that is mine. I can see where you get wood, but where do you get metal? Well, I have many suppliers. We trade often in Stillwater when the need arises, but just lately I've run out of mithril. If you know anything about the metal, you know that is rare. I'm having trouble finding a new source, and many of my objects are incomplete without it. Yeah, mithril, we found a lot of it actually. But why can't you use regular metals like iron? Mithril is a very special kind of metal. It is very light and very strong, but its most interesting properties are in respect to magic. Although it is not inherently magical, mithril is very conductive to magic and to holding magical spells. There is nothing quite like it. Well, perhaps I could assist you in obtaining more. Yes, I'd be very grateful for your help. If you can find the caves of the Wheel Clan and bring me back some mithril, then I would be willing to give to you one of my crafted bows. It's said there are no better in Quintarra. Sure, I think I've obtained some mithril. I mean, I've always had it. I was already into the Wheel Clan mines. Let's trade then. That's impressive, my friend. The dwarves of the Wheel Clan are reclusive at best. You must be quite an individual to have gained their trust. They don't really like me, though. Here, take this bow in payment. You're welcome in my shop anytime. Thank you. Even chainmail. Oh, the bow is on the ground because Lumen's bow. I think we have a bow. Even hunter's bow. Plus 10 to hit of magic. Damage 110. I don't know which one is best. But we will keep them both. Who's here? Hello. Remember to save. A locked face. A good day to you. Okay, fine. You have nothing to say. Hello, you, sir. Greetings, maiden. Might I ask your name? But of course, I am known as Caldriel in the Elven tongue. However, you may call me Fawn. A pleasure, Fawn. What is it that you do here? Oh, giggling nervously. Why? Forgive me for not telling you before. I am accustomed to everyone knowing my position. I am the Master Healer. I am here to help all those in need of restoration. Oh, what a pleasure to meet you, great lady. Could I ask a favor? Oh, yes. What is it that you require, Mr.Dixon? Do you trade? So she has... Fated ring. Gambling plus 1. Yeah, I can do it. Virgin.
What is it that you...
Wait. Invisible traps I'm gonna keep. Create undead. Maybe I'm gonna get rid of. I'm gonna keep that one. $165. I don't really care. I will give you 0. No. Okay. These people here are good for nothing. How are you, sir? Hello, madam. Might I ask you who you are? The elven woman smiles, although still very beautiful. Her eyes betray a great age and wisdom, as well as the lively spark of retained youth. Of course, in your tongue I'm called Whisper. Might I ask who you are, sir? Yeah, Mr. Dixon? It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Dixon. What brings you to Quintarra? Well, you see, we have a long story behind us. She's silent for a moment. So, all of your adventures started when you walked from the wreckage of that... What did you call it? Blimp? Yes. She smiles warmly, taking your hand in hers. That's quite a tale, and I appreciate you trusting me with it. I'd like to give you something as well, perhaps to aid you in the coming days. She hands you a small gem. It might help you to, well, become a little less conspicuous. Okay. What do you do here in Quintarra, Whisper? I suppose you could call me... She leans in to whisper to you. A scientist? If anyone heard me say that here, I'd be thrown to the forest floor. She laughs good-heartedly. A scientist? What is it that you're studying, Whisper? Well, I'm studying the local wildlife. There are many strange and magical creatures in the glimmering forest, and no one has really taken the time to catalog them all, study their unique characteristics. I am doing so. So what creatures are you studying right now? Right now I'm cataloging all of the different types of will-o'-the-wisps according to their particular essence. I'm almost finished, but I can't seem to gather a sample from the rare Volar's wisp. What is this Volar's wisp? Volar's wisp is a special kind of will-o'-the-wisp, very rare and typically hostile. You can tell them by their blue hue. Will-o'-the-wisp come in all colors, but only Volar's wisp is blue. I've had the most difficult time finding one and gathering its essence. What do you mean by essence? Some will-o'-the-wisp, when they die, leave behind what is known as their essence. It's a physical manifestation of their magical properties. Sometimes it is used in magical potions and poisons. We have an apothecary here in Quintarra, Mr. Sharp, who specializes in those sort of things. Perhaps I could help? Yes, perhaps you could at that. I have been very busy here, and I haven't been able to go out wisp hunting. If you were to bring me some essence of a Volar's wisp, I would offer you a magical scroll. Would you be interested in something like that? Maybe, we'll see. That's wonderful. If you travel within the glimmering forest long enough, you should run across a Volar's wisp. Good luck to you, my friend. Fine. They don't have beds. That's weird. So, the merchants here are rubbish. This is what I gather. Is there somebody here? Except this girl. There are reasons why I'm not talking to this girl, but we will talk to her later. Nobody here. Dwarf wizard. Oh god. That is insanely uncommon. What is it? I am surprised to see a dwarf here. This is my home. What do you wish of me? What is a dwarf doing in Quintarra? What better place to train in the ways of magic? You're a mage? That's a bit unusual, is it not? I have been drawn towards magic for my entire life. Unlike most dwarves, I had no affinity for things of a technological nature. So that's why you live here? I am under a tutorial agreement to my teacher, Ross. I am unable to leave until my contract is finished. So you are an indentured servant. How long is this contract for? My contract runs until the end of Rat's life, in exchange for training in the magical arts. I agreed to serve him, but that bitter old elf can last another 2, possibly 300 years. Well, why did you agree to such an interminable length of service? No elf wanted to take a dwarf as an apprentice. It was the best offer I could get. It wasn't bad at first, when Russ was simply surly. Over the past 50 years or so, he's become increasingly bitter and difficult to work for. I do not know what I will do if I can't convince him to release me soon. Why don't you just leave? I would never dishonor myself so. The only thing that can release me besides his death is his word. Maybe I could say something to him. Thank you for the offer, but your interference would only serve to anger him, which would lead to greater torment for myself at his hands. Well then, I suppose I'll be on my way. Bye. Well, that was weird. I don't think the guy has done the right thing, but hey. These houses are so empty and uncomfortable. Hey, come on. Mr.Dixon? Oh, you need to go around this way for reasons? Okay, then. Okay, you see the dead body of Wrath, Jormund's mentor. There seems to be no sign of violence or a struggle. Jormund, by the way, is the dwarf. This empty wine glass has a strange, pungent odor. Huh. Well, I guess somebody just did you a favor, dwarf. What business do you have here? Jormund is under arrest for murder. Murder? Who is he meant to have killed? He killed Wrath, his mentor. Jormund's dislike for Wrath is well known in Quintarra, as well as his wish to be released from his contract. Yeah, this is all very interesting. May I go in and speak with him for a second? Sure, go on in. But don't try anything, I'll be listening out here. Good God. Hey! You've returned. Yeah. Why did you kill him? To be released from your contract? I would have sooner served my remaining years in silence than to have lifted my hand against my mentor, regardless of my dislike for his person. So if you didn't kill him, who did? I have no ideas on the matter. How was he killed? I do not know. Perhaps you could get some more information from the captain of the guard out front. Can you tell me how Wrath was killed? We haven't determined that as of yet. At this point, all we know is that we can find no evidence of any injuries from weapons. What about magic? Quench life would have done the trick. No, we of Quintarra are acutely attuned to the flows. If any dark necromancy had been used, we would have felt it. Well, interesting, thank you, then. God. The guards say he wasn't killed with a weapon or with magic. Is there any evidence that you know of? Just this glass, it has a strange odor to it. This is poison. There is only one apothecary sharp in Quintarra. If the poison was bought here, he'd have been the one to sell it. I need to speak with him somehow. Since I am confined to my house, I need someone to help clear my name. Are you interested in helping me out? I have no idea, but I can try. I will give you my prized staff of Xorans for your help, good sir. Okay. So, we arrived just in time before he was actually arrested. That's insanely weird. Yeah, I think I've picked up everything from the body. This is so weird. Hey. Hello.
Greetings, stranger. What is it you need?
Yeah, who are you?
No, you're correct. We've never met.
Oh, yeah, I didn't read because I thought it was her dialogue, but this elven woman looks at you evenly. Her skin is light, almost translucent, with hair of dark crimson, almost black. She's beautiful but very severe. Okay, so what is your name, madam?
My name is very old and very long. Perhaps it would be best if you simply called me Raven.
Okay. So, do you have a moment?
Of course.
We are here for a reason.
Certainly. How can I help you?
We need to speak with the Silver Lady.
The Silver Lady? Oh, you mean my mother. That's quite a request, and one not so easily granted.
Yeah, believe me, Raven, she's going to want to speak with me.
And believe me when I tell you that no one sees my mother until I see it as necessary. She may be our queen, but I oversee the daily matters here in Quintarra.
These people are as bad as the dwarves. So, we have some urgency here. How do we do this?
You'll have your chance. Forgive me if I seem a little abrupt, but I've many things on my mind today and there's much to be done. Once I've taken care of some of the more pressing matters, I'll talk with you about your needs.
So should I return later?
I'm very busy, and I can't say as to how long you'll be waiting, but feel free to walk around Cantera. Check back with me later.
Is there anything you need done?
Your offer is greatly appreciated, my friend. We'd appreciate any help you might be willing to give.
Okay.
There is a group of humans camped about a day's journey from here. We know not what they want, but where humans go, trouble usually follows.
So what should I do?
The place they are camped at is called Falcon's Egg, and it is considered a holy place for the elves of Cantera. We would like you to find out why the humans are there and remove them.
Remove them?
Of course. What would you like to know?
How should they be removed?
It doesn't matter to me how you remove them, but you must understand this. Under no circumstances are you to shed blood on that ground. The spirits there exact their price, and you do not want to pay it. Do you understand? Do not raise your hand against another.
This freaking tree lovers mumbo jumbo. Yeah, okay, a few more questions, please.
Of course. What would you like to know?
What sort of place is Falcon's Egg?
Falcon's Egg, as I told you, is elven holy ground.
No, you didn't tell me.
Many years ago there was an elven queen, and her name was Falcon. She was out hunting one day and with her bow shot a stag. When she had caught up with it, it was lying next to a pool of water, slowly bleeding from a wound in its side.
Okay.
The stag spoke to her, and within it were the spirits of the elves who had become the soul of the stag, and with her arrow she had pierced both it and them. And they were both sad and afraid, as the stag's life was their own, and when it died, so would they.
Okay, so what did Falcon do?
She could do nothing. She sat with the stag's head in her arms, sang its stories, and washed its wound with her tears. And the ache in her heart grew as the old elven voices faded, grew so much that when they finally passed, she passed with them.
I would have eaten the stag, roasted or something. But that's obviously a very sad story. And,
of course. What would you like to know?
How do I get to Falcon's Egg?
It's not far from here. I'll mark your map with the location.
Well, thank you. I will be back, maybe. Why are people so uppity? Whether them be dwarves or elves. Oh, good God. It's all the same stew. We're going out for a while. Not even a random encounter. Oh. So where do we go now? Maybe I was supposed to go this way. Not that way, right, Mr. Dixon? Okay. Look like militaries. Not sure. Technologists. Hello, sir. Who are you? I'm William Benge, outdoorsman and naturalist and head of this bunch you see here. And who might you be? Well, I'm Mr. Dixon. A pleasure. May I speak with you? Certainly. What are you doing here? I'm a surveyor and this is my team. We're employed by the Torringsdale Logging Company. We have a contract to map out the surrounding lands which were recently purchased by Torringsdale and report usability of its resources. Fairly standard job, really. This is Elven territory, friend. We may have a problem here, Mr. Benge. Oh, really? And what might that be? Well, unfortunately, you're not supposed to be here. I see no problem here, stranger. In fact, I think I'm going to have to ask you to leave. This here is private property and you're trespassing. I think I'll be able to persuade you to otherwise. Really? Listen, friend, I'm here to do a job. William Benge is a man of his word, and Torringsdale expects a report on his desk in a week. I don't think there's much you're going to be able to say that will dissuade me from doing what I'm here to do. You might think differently if you knew who I represent. Who you represent? I see, let me guess. You're one of the blokes from Wextel Lumber, right? Wait, I see it all you now. You're here to tell me you have legal rights to this land. You're half correct, but I'm not here from Wextel Lumber. Oh, who then? Well, I represent Gilbert Bates. Bates? Bates? What interest would Gilbert Bates have in logging? The man supplies in the engines for our clear cutters. Well, I think he's thinking of getting into the logging business now. Mr. Bates, in the logging business. But he owns so much already. Why would someone with such an obvious monopoly in his field of expertise want to take over logging as well? Because he's greedy? Is this an opportunity? Are you going to question him? No, of course not. I'm not saying I'd question Mr. Bates' judgment. No, sir, but what exactly are you doing here? I mean, this land is owned by Torringsdale. Well, you see, Mr. Bates is contesting that in court as we speak. In court? I have legal documents here stating the validity of the Torringsdale claim. How could Mr. Bates contest this? Do you really think that legality is a concern of Mr. Bates? No, I see your point. Well, what exactly are you proposing? I've still a job to do, but I'm not one to make the wrong sort of enemies. Maybe Mr. Bates is looking to do some business here? Perhaps we could put a good word in for you. That, my friend, would be very much appreciated. I'm thinking that our little party here might have fallen into some difficulties, you know, hazards of the trade, perhaps a violent storm, and since we'd lost all of the provisions, you had to go back early. Very nice, William. Thank you, Mr. Dixon. I was always a good storyteller, and you'll make sure to pass on my name to Mr. Bates. He'll be in need of surveyors as well. I'll say that you can always rely on Mr. Benge. Right. We'll get packed right away and leave. I look forward to hearing from you and Mr. Bates, I suppose. I couldn't read. Wow, Mr. Dixon. Dodge, melee, backstab. How much? Tell me how much. Oh, to 12, huh? Okay, can you guys go? Look at this place. No animal is hostile here. Great. There is no loot though. Oh, they're gone. Just like that. Let's go back. I'm going to zigzag because I want to see if I can find any wisp.